What's up, guys? How are you? It is time for a Wednesday morning Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. We are here every single morning thanks to BetMGM right here on BettingPros.com, on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We went 3-3. No, 2-2. I went 3-3. 2-2 last night on the pod. So a quick recap here. The Philadelphia over hit easily. That was nice because the puck line did not come through. All of the Flyers did wind up winning that game in overtime, just not by 2 over the Buffalo Sabres. So that losing streak now goes to 8 games for Buffalo. They are really, really bad. The overhit, like I mentioned, Bryant does not come through. We lost on that, -5.5. They lost outright, and the Panthers won the game on the money line. So a 2-2 mark for us. I went 3-3 because I added the Bruins and the Islanders under, and the Zags -7.5 in the first half. I mentioned those on the Discord channel. So I go 3-3. I go 3-1 in hockey and 0-2 in college basketball. And for that reason, I'm not betting college basketball today. So you guys might be really into college basketball. I'm not really into losing money. I'm not good in college right now. It's just, I might add something, but I think there are so many games on Thursday that taking Wednesday off is probably a good idea. So I'm going to hold off on Wednesday. I'm not going to play college. But what I am going to do, I've got 3 future bets to give you guys, okay? 2 conference tournament bets I have made for the winner of the conference tournament. 1 baseball total that I'm going to get into. I'm going to periodically sprinkle in the baseball totals as we go, but this one's starting to move, and I'm a little nervous about it. So I'm going to give it to you now in case it moves. I've got 2 hockey plays and 2 NBA player props to get into. So we have a lot to talk about today on a 15-minute podcast, so I got to go kind of quick here. But this is the last day, guys, for the BetMGM offer. For you sign up, new accounts using Juice 100, you opt into promotions, that's 1 entry, and then every bet you make until tonight at midnight, $25 or more is 1 entry with BetMGM. 2, the all-expense paid trip to here, Las Vegas, at the resort of your choice for March Madness, and $5,000 to gamble. Woo! $5,000 to bet is pretty darn cool here in Vegas. Of their money, not your money, of their money. So it's pretty good, right? So that today is the last day. So get to it, enter it, opt into it, Juice 100 for the new account with BetMGM. Okay, let's start in the Big East, all right? And the bracket matters in the Big East to me. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about either one of these. I'm just going to kind of explain what I think is going to happen. I believe that Book Knight and UConn are the hottest team in the Big East. I think Nova's done, okay? Colin Gillespie's injury, they're done, okay? I don't think they're any good. I think that's it, okay? You blow out your knee, bye. They got beat by Providence. We bet against them, bye. Or I bet against them. I guess not on the official play, but I bet against them, gone. I don't I don't think UConn's going to – I don't think Nova's going to have a big run. They could win a game or 2, but that's it. Creighton and UConn are on the same side of the bracket. And they're basically, you can shop around for all of these odds, okay? And I've seen it all over the place. I've seen UConn favored. I've seen Creighton favored. I think it comes down to whoever wins that semifinal game wins the Big East tournament. So I think both UConn and Creighton win 1 game. They advance to face each other in the 2-3 game. And the winner of that game is going to win the Big East tournament. And I think the winner of that game is going to be UConn. UConn at plus 250 to win the Big East tournament at a quarter unit. I think they're the hottest team in the Big East. They play a great style, and they are back in this tournament. And my goodness, if they could have their full-throated fans there, it would be huge. But UConn's first year in the league, the Creighton Blue Jays' first year in the Big East, they went to the finals and lost to Providence. UConn, I think, goes to the finals, and I think they win the Big East tournament in their first return trip to MSG. Their fans, everyone's so psyched for it. UConn at plus 250, quarter unit to win the Big East tournament. Big Ten tournament. I think with Iowa and Michigan's injury problems, I think Brad Underwood's team is the hottest team in the Big Ten. And I think they really want to win the Big Ten championship. Brett Underwood at Stephen F. Austin was a tremendous tournament coach. He just has this toughness about him. He just has this grittiness about him. And I watched up close. I interviewed him for a bunch of times when I was in Houston, working in Houston. And he's a really, really good coach. And he's a really, really tough dude to go and play for. But his team plays the way he coaches. Hard, gritty. They got the guard play that you need. They've got the killer that you need. They got the defensive rim protector that you need. They got the big man down low that you need. Illinois is loaded. And I know Michigan's playing really well. But again, injury concerns. I'm not a fan of Iowa, like you guys know. And I think Ohio State has cooled off big time. Plus 275, quarter unit. Illinois to win the Big Ten. Quarter unit. Illinois, plus 275. First or second play to win the Big Ten tournament, okay? So that's a half a unit. What are we doing with the other half of unit? All right, not going to get too deep into this, but the Boston Red Sox, their win total opened up at 79.5. Here in Vegas at the Westgate, it's been bet down to 79. Shop around. I've seen this as high as 80.5. I got it tonight at 79. I'm putting a half unit down on the Boston Red Sox to win more than 79 games, and here is why. Alex Cora coming back. This dude doesn't lose, okay? Astros, he was there, World Series championship. Next year, Red Sox, World Series championship. Fired, Red Sox suck, he comes back. JD Martinez, I think, is going to have a big, big year. I think Chaim Bloom is going to do enough to piece it together for this team to win 85 games. To win 80 games is basically being a 500 baseball team. I know the pecking order in the East for the American League goes the Yankees, Rays, most likely the Blue Jays, Red Sox, Orioles, okay? Mostly in that kind of order. But the Red Sox, they don't have great pitching. But if they get some of their new guys, Kiki Hernandez and company, some of these versatile players that they have gone and acquired, some of their rookies to come up and play well, they've got a funky-looking outfield. It's not going to be the typical Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts, and Andrew Benintendi, okay? They're all gone. All three of those guys are gone for the Red Sox. Alex Verdugo needs to have a big year. I think he might. They're not going to have the same power numbers, but they still have Xander Bogaerts. They still have Rafael Devers, and they've got Alex Cora. I just need Boston to be a 500 baseball team. They're a big market team with big pockets, and Chris Sale at some point will come back. The bullpen's a question. The starting rotation's a question. These are all the things why they are not going to contend for the American League East, okay? I'm not saying they're going to contend with the Yankees. I'm not saying they're going to contend even with the Rays. What I'm saying is the Red Sox are going to win more than 79 games. We're going over Red Sox 79 games for a half a unit here in Major League Baseball, okay? 2 tournament plays, 1 baseball play. I'll have more as we approach opening day, but that's my first one because that number is starting to move, and I want you guys to get the best number. 79, I think, is a good number. People are doubting Alex Cora. They're doubting the Red Sox. Fine. That's my team. I think my team's going to win 80 games, all right? 80 games, I don't think that's too difficult. 81, really. They're going to be a 500 baseball team. That's what they are, okay? I think they've got a real shot. Tough division, but I think they got a real shot to win a bunch of games. They'll score a lot. Betting overs on the Red Sox are going to be fun. Their bullpen and their starting rotation not that great, but offensively they should be good. Half a unit over 79 wins. All right. So the first play in hockey, I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There are 2 plays. I've chosen one of them. I'm going to do the other as an experiment. I will tell you here, it's unofficial. I'll tell you what I'm going to try to do here. Because it's kind of I haven't done the reverse puck line before officially. And I don't have too much experience doing this, but we're going to try it out with Ottawa taking on Vancouver coming up here. And, Ottawa taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Sorry. So my personal play on this, Ottawa on the road at Edmonton. They have lost every game they've played. It's been an absolute domination, okay? 8-5, 4-2, 3-1, 3-2, 3-2, okay? They're going to play 4 more times. They are 5-0 against the Ottawa Senators. But the numbers are starting to shrink, and the Senators are plus, let's see, their number going into right now at the time of tape is plus 200 on the money line. Okay? Is Edmonton that much better? I don't know. But if you take plus 1.5 goals, the reverse puck line, Ottawa is only minus 134. They can lose by 1 goal. Just don't lose by 2, and we cover. So I'm going to attempt to do this personally. This is a little bit of a test, okay, to see how it's going to go. Personal bet is Ottawa plus 1.5, minus 134, just to see how we do with that, okay? If that goes well, anytime I see, normally, just to give you an example, like if you were to bet the Minnesota Wild at plus 1.5 tonight, that number would be minus 260. Okay? At plus 1.5, it's normally $2 or higher to get plus 1.5. You see 134, the juice isn't that bad. It's worth the flyer, okay? You can lose, just don't lose by more than 1 goal. So that's a personal play that we're going to do an experiment. We may play that more. But the official play, we are going with the under 6.5 goals for Vancouver and the Montreal Canadiens. Okay, so here's why. The Canadiens, the under is 4-0 the last 4 times they were at home as an underdog. They are 4-0. The Canucks are 4-0 the last 4 games they were at home. Montreal, taking on teams with losing records, the under is 6-1-1 over the last 8 games for them. So these two teams, I just think this is going to be at 6.5. I think this is a good play here. Take 6.5 and go under for these two teams going up against each other. And I believe that we're going to get a good enough goaltending at least one of these goalies. Lose this game 4-2. Okay, let's get a 4-2 final here for this game tonight, and let's take the hook at 6.5, and let's go under at minus 132. Let's go under for Vancouver and the Montreal Canadiens. I'm a little confused why the number is minus 150 for Montreal. Like, Vancouver's been playing really well. So I smell a skunk here a little bit. I got a little bit, I was kind of like, wait, what? Because a part of me wants to just go ahead and take Vancouver and be like, they're at home and they're catching, pretty good value. If you want to go ahead and take them at plus 130 at home. And just looking at the way that they have played the Canadiens, Game 1, 6-5 win for Vancouver. Game 2, 7-3 win for the Canadiens. Game 3, 5-2 win for the Canadiens. Then 6-2 Canadiens, 5-3 Canadiens, and then 2-1 in the last game for the Canucks. So while the Canadiens have won the vast majority of these games, they've all been relatively tight, and you've seen the Canucks win 2 of them. So they're 2-4 against them, but I don't know. So I'm going to go with the under here. I'm going to ride what we saw in the last game. I'm going to go under 6.5 goals here for these two teams. And they last played up against each other. It was 2-1. So hopefully we get another good goaltending day for both goalies. And we're going under 6.5 goals for a half a unit at minus 132. The other game, and you guys are going to laugh, because not only am I playing 1 under, I'm playing 2 unders. The Vegas Golden Knights are taking on the Minnesota Wild. Look, the under is on a crazy streak. The Golden Knights, 17 matchups with a team against a winning record, 13-3-1 to the under. 13-3-1. It looks like Alex Pietrangelo and Mark Stone, it looks like they're both going to be out. They both didn't practice today for the Golden Knights. So there's a good shot they're going to be out. And this Kokanen kid, Cahokin kid for Minnesota is 7-0 straight up in his last 7 starts. He's going again for Minnesota. He just shut him out, okay? Without Pietrangelo, without Mark Stone, I'm concerned about that power play. I'm concerned about Vegas' offense. I know you still have Max Pacioretty and you got some other guys, but, it's 5.5, and I'm just going to go under 5.5 here at minus 120 and hope it's a 3-1 type of win for somebody here. I think Vegas could win the game in a bounce-back spot. I just don't like Vegas' offense. In particular, without Mark Stone, I don't like Vegas' offense. So we're going to play the under there at minus 120, half a unit for Vegas and Minnesota under 5.5 goals. So it's going to be a rough night with hockey. It's going to be kind of tough. We're going to be cringing when goals are being scored. Hopefully it's like a Wednesday midweek, lull fest here with 2 unders. So hockey plays are under 6.5 Vancouver, under 5.5 for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild. Finally, 2 plays for us going to the bettingpros.com prop bet cheat sheet. Looking at a couple different options here. Let's start with, there's 2 games tonight. Only 2 games as the association comes back kind of slowly. But let's talk about San Antonio. And let's talk about the Spurs taking on, hold on, let's do the Spurs game first before we do the second game. Spurs and Dallas going up against each other in a game that's, I think, is going to be really, really fun. So the number for this is San Antonio on the road at Dallas. Dallas is minus 4.5 in this one. I am looking at DeMar DeRozan scoring, okay? I found at William Hill, 19.5 is the total for DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan points over the last 4 games heading into the break, 20, 10, 22, and 32. The total of this game is quite high, okay? And it's 222 for a game involving the Spurs. That's pretty high for 222. So they're expecting some points. They're expecting a back-and-forth battle. Luka's props are a little bit too high for me. I mean, if you want to bet Luka to get a double-double tonight, it's actually juiced to minus 170 to give you an idea as to what the books are expecting for this game. They're expecting a lot of offense. But I think DeMar DeRozan, according to the prop bet cheat sheet, is being projected to score about 23 points. The number is 19.5. So you got about 3 points of value there for DeMar DeRozan to have a big game. And there are trade talks right now going on with DeMar DeRozan that he might be getting sent potentially to the Clippers, which would be kind of wild. So there's some interesting things going on. I could see him coming out of the gate here and playing really well, trying to get his numbers up if he doesn't want to get out of there. And I think that there's a matchup problem there for Dallas taking on San Antonio. So for a quarter unit at minus 125, I'm playing over 19.5 points for DeMar DeRozan. And the final play, we started this with Ja Morant, I believe. And I'm going to go back to the well here with Ja Morant. His total is now 22.5. We were betting it earlier. It was 19. But Ja scored 35 points in back-to-back games going into the break. He scored 6 against Houston, which was the real anomaly, and then 20, 16, 22, 12, 29 in the previous games. This total is extremely high for this game. It's 238 for Washington and Memphis. We know Washington plays no defense whatsoever. So I would think that Ja Morant's going to be able to go off here. 22.5. It's only minus 105. Let's go over Ja Morant. Let's get it again here for Ja Morant over 22.5. We went 4-1 before the break on the player props here on the Daily Juice. Quarter unit, let's do it again. Ja Morant over 22.5 points for minus 105 for a quarter unit. So, okay, lots to recap here, all right? UConn, plus 250 to win the Big East quarter unit. Illinois, plus 275 to win the Big Ten quarter unit. Red Sox, over 79 wins, half a unit. Vancouver, under 6.5 goals for Vancouver tonight. Vancouver up against the Montreal Canadiens. And the Wild in the Vegas Golden Knights, under 5.5 goals at minus 120. Both those hockey bets for a half a unit. DeMar DeRozan, over 19.5 points at minus 125, quarter unit. Ja Morant, over 22.5 points at minus 105 for a quarter unit. So, in reality, we only have a unit and a half in play. No college basketball. I'm going to take it off. I've got a half a unit flying around. If I like something, I may jump in on college basketball. But maybe not, probably not. I'm going to take my time here on a Wednesday. Thursday, we'll really get into college basketball. Probably the entire slate may just be college basketball plays coming up on Thursday as really all the conference tournaments get going. But this is kind of the wonky time here, and I just lost with Canisius, and then I lost with Bryant. I'm not interested in playing small small level D1 basketball tournaments. I'm not interested right now, okay? So I'm not going to do that. I got Gonzaga wrong in the first half, so just blah. Okay, so we're just going to wait, take a breath on college basketball, and come back. So 2 plays in hockey, 2 NBA props, 3 future wagers to give you here on the Daily Juice podcast. Good stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy a little bit of a different spin on a Wednesday. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt every single morning. It's the Daily Juice podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.